How's it going, everyone? Today I want to make a kind of discussion video about people saying they don't really like playing video games anymore. Specifically, people who used to really enjoy playing video games, and now whenever they pick it up, they're like, I don't know, it just feels kind of miserable. Like I've had friends tell me that they'll hop on to play a video game, and they'll just sit there for like 40 minutes and just like have such this like sense of dread, sense of misery about their life. And I'm like, dude, video games are not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like a fun activity that you enjoy. Like, why are you dealing with this? So I decided to go through some of the few reasons why this could be happening, if this might be a feeling that you're feeling. It's a similar feeling that I felt in my first year of college, and I was able to get through it, and now I really enjoy playing games again. So, first I want you to ask yourself, like, why do you even play video games in the first place? Because there are definitely healthy ways of playing video games and unhealthy ways of playing video games. If you're just playing them because you like the experience, you like the gameplay, you like the stories, all that stuff, that is perfectly fine. If you play video games because it's a way for you to push off your responsibilities and ignore what is actually important in life, that's not so fun. That is an issue. And when I talk about, like, when I say refer to playing video games in this video, I'm not talking about the people who play 18 hours a day and it completely ruins their social life. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking to people who, even if you log on like a couple hours a day, more than the average person, that's fine, as long as you're not letting it get in the way of your responsibilities, your social life, your good habits, all that other stuff that is going to help you in the future. I also want you to ask yourself, what level of a gamer, as much as that term is pretty stupid, what level of a gamer are you? Are you someone who, because there's definitely those people who just like, they own an Xbox 360, maybe like one of the newer consoles, and they just like pick up the new FIFA game, maybe the new Madden game whenever it comes out, play it for like a couple weeks, and then don't really play any video games in their free time, just because it's not really a huge hobby of theirs. And that is perfectly fine. If that is how you enjoy playing video games, that way of living is honestly much more healthy than the obsessive video game player who lets it get in the way of their life. Then the level after that is people a little more invested in video games, maybe like a kid who just got a few games for Christmas. Maybe they rush home from school and they can't wait to just jump on their video games. They're talking about it with their friends at school. Basically me when I was a kid. And then there are people who are very heavily invested in video games, people who collect video games, people who get very invested into like the competitive side of things, people who watch a lot of video game videos, people who watch a lot of video game live streams. No matter which of these levels and investment that you are, it is perfectly fine to enjoy video games this way. And also important to know that it's perfectly fine to switch any of these levels. Like, maybe you started as someone who was super heavily invested into video games, and as life went on, you just started finding other hobbies that you enjoy more, and it's perfectly fine to just push video games off to the side and kind of pick them up only once in a while, rather than every day. That is perfectly normal, and not something that you should be ashamed about or worried about. I remember I had a camp counselor at a summer camp when I was like 12 or so, and he told me that he used to really enjoy video games as a kid, and then he didn't really play them as often. And as a kid, that actually really worried me because I absolutely loved video games. I didn't want to lose the passion that I had for playing video games. But now that I am a lot older, I kind of see where he was getting at. Like, life kind of comes at you fast, and you gain a lot more responsibilities than you might have had when you were just a little kid. And it's perfectly fine to push stuff like video games off to the side if you want to prioritize other hobbies. He definitely had a lot of other hobbies that he enjoyed more than video games, and it's perfectly fine that he just pushed video games off to the side. But I do want to emphasize the fact that video gaming is a hobby. which is weird because usually when people ask about my hobbies, I'll usually bring up I like making videos, I like playing the trumpet. I never really bring up video games because to me it doesn't seem like a hobby, but that's what it is. It's something that I play in my free time. I enjoy it. The difference is a lot of hobbies are just seen as a lot more socially acceptable, I guess you could say. Like, for example, playing an instrument, that's like testing your brain, that's like learning a skill. Whereas video games is the same thing, but to a lot of people, and of course this has changed a lot over time. I feel like video games have become much more acceptable as like a hobby. I think the main thing is just people are looking at the people who spend way too much time on video games. Like I said, the people who play 18 hours a day, which is not really, that's when it stops being a hobby and it becomes an obsession. And I feel like that is where the unhealthy aspects of playing video games really lie. I want to emphasize how important it is to actually prioritize your time when playing video games. And also, an important thing is to not use video games as an escape. Now, I see a lot of people say, like, escape as, like, a good thing. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I guess, it's cool to, like, have this, like, whole nother world, whole nother experience that you can kind of, like, get involved in. That's fine. Getting immersed in a game and, like, really getting into the world, that is perfectly normal. But when it becomes, like, let's say I have a super important assignment for school due, and I'm like, I'm just gonna, screw this, I'm just going to play video games and try and forget about this assignment. That is where it becomes unhealthy. That is where it becomes a danger. That is where it becomes an issue. When you're actively using video games to try and push responsibilities out of your life, that is where it's an issue. And personally, I find it to just not be enjoyable at that point. I'll find myself playing video games and just be worried about the assignment that I have to do. So what's the point? I'm not enjoying playing the game, and I would enjoy playing the game much more if I just buckled down, got what I needed to get done, and get on with my life, basically. And then I can actually come back to the game I was playing and have it be stress-free. And the most important thing, I think, if you aren't really enjoying video games, is literally just take a break. I mean, it sounds simple, but so many people will just keep playing the same games over and over again. Like, I see people all the time playing, like, League of Legends, or, like, people, like, talking about Pokemon. It's like, no one hates Pokemon more than Pokemon fans. It's like, then why do you play it? I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I've never been one to get into super competitive games. Like, even when I played, like, Valorant competitive with my friends, I didn't get past Bronze 3 just because I didn't really have that competitive drive to, like, climb up through the ranks. Just because it was more fun to just play with my friends. I didn't really care about playing solo Valorant. It just wasn't fun to me. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people forget at times. Like, always bring up the famous Reggie quote, if it's not fun, why bother? But honestly, it legit just comes down to that. Like, why are you spending so much time into this thing if you don't enjoy it? And I guess you could say the same thing about other hobbies, especially like let's say I was super invested in improving at my trumpet. I would have to practice every single day, and there would definitely be days where I didn't want to practice, but I would still have to get on my trumpet and do the practicing if I actually want to improve. And I could see people doing the same thing if they really wanted to improve at a video game. But I don't know. To me, it just seems like so much stress for no reason when you could literally just take a few days off. Honestly, it only has to just be a few days off and just completely disconnect. And I guarantee you, when you come back to playing whatever game it is, you'll either, one, still not enjoy it, and then you can probably just drop that specific game because you actually just don't like it. Or you'll have way more appreciation for it, and you'll enjoy it again. So, problem solved. But yeah, basically just, if you're not enjoying video games, just don't force yourself to play. Don't use it as an escape for your responsibilities. And just remember that at the end of the day, it is a hobby. So why are you getting so stressed out about a hobby? But that's basically all I wanted to say. Kind of a short video. Today's actually the 4th of July. I'm probably going to post this the same day that I'm recording it. But I was hoping to get a video out for tomorrow, which is Friday, on my main channel. But I think I'm going to take a little bit longer for that video just because I want to make sure that it's as good as possible. So I hope you understand. Work's going good on the New World movie. I saw a lot of people like the trailer. So I'm excited. And I hope you also like this video on the Mr. 72 channel. I said I wanted to do more like commentary style videos on this channel. So let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments. And also please in the comments, give me topics that you think I can talk about in the future. Obviously, I'm a complete moron. I don't know anything. I'm not going to be an expert on whatever topic you give me, especially if you give me like astrophysics. So bear with me, but I will try and talk the best I can about whatever topic, especially if I have some experience of my own, because that's kind of what I want to get at this channel, is kind of sharing my own experiences, because they're unique and that's not something that you can just learn from like reading a book about psychology or whatever. Ignore that, guys. Anyways, this is gonna be all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.